You're listening to A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. I'm your host, Mary Lewis. At Greenbush Twins and Company, we believe in the power of creativity, imagination, and art to bring people together. Our mission is to inspire connection across all ages, encouraging understanding, individuality, and a true sense of belonging. We're building more than a brand. We're growing a mindful community rooted in kindness, intention, and shared purpose. At our core, it's about real people sharing real stories, ideas, and products that make everyday life more meaningful. If you believe in living with purpose and supporting brands that care, you'll feel right at home with Greenbush Twins. A Tiny Homestead podcast is sponsored by Greenbush Twins and Company. Today I'm talking with Becky at Homesteading with Becky J in Oregon. How are you this morning, Becky?
I am fabulous. How about you?
I'm good. What's the weather doing in Oregon?
We're actually really overcast today.
Is it raining or is it just overcast?
Just overcast. It looks like it wants to try, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, and rain is it's not anything unusual in Oregon or Washington State, so I'm sure you're ready for it to sprinkle whenever, right?
Yeah, well, and I'm in Eastern Oregon, so we actually, a lot of the storms tend to go around us. We're
Mm,
usually pretty dry, so yeah, we definitely take all the rain that we can get.
yeah, I'm in Minnesota. It is yet another really lovely morning. It's the reason I sound weird about that is because this winter has been the longest, grayest, wettest we've had in probably 4 years.
Oh, geez.
But the sun is coming in the bedroom window, there's no wind, and it's just really pretty outside. I'm like, another good morning, yay. So, I have to tell you, when I saw the name of your page, Homesteading with Becky J, for some reason it made me think of a pop star, and I can't for the life of me think of who it is right now. But I was like, that sounds like a rock star homesteader. I want to talk to her.
Easy to remember then.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I am 37 years old. I have three children, a whole full-fledged homestead now. I literally have animals all over, but it was not like that, 6, 7 years ago. I was living in a trailer park. So, I mean, we made some major changes for the better, obviously. It was a lot of work to get here, but still growing.
So when you were in the trailer park, were you already, like, practicing homesteading skills, though? Were you already learning?
I mean, I've always been a big meal prepper, baker, cooker, so I kind of had that going for me, but honestly, no. And I wish that I would have been practicing some of these basic skills, like I could have been gardening on my porch, I could have been utilizing container gardening or, worm composting or learning how to sew, but I was so oblivious to all of it. And I guess I just thought that like the property had to come first. So
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for people. Like it doesn't matter where you're at. Like you can literally do this anywhere. And I wish I would have started sooner.
Well, I would say, okay, listener, you heard it here first, but I say it all the time. So, okay, listener, you're hearing it again. Learn to cook, grow a plant, learn to crochet or sew. Just learn some basic skills of do it yourself things because that way you're not caught flat-footed.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so when did you acquire your land?
We have been here about 7 years now.
Mhm.
And it just slowly but surely we started getting some animals and the first year I tried to garden, it was a complete flop because I didn't know what I was doing.
That's okay, at least you tried.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
But
you
the
tried gardening.
Yeah, the people that had lived here before us, she had a big, big garden, and I know them personally, so like I seen what it looked like in full bloom and everything that she had been growing. I'm like, oh, I could totally do that. And so of course, I just planted everything in the ground with no idea of like weed control or how I was gonna water or anything. And then of course, everything started sprouting, it looked fabulous, but then I couldn't tell what were like weeds and what were
Mhm.
my plants. So, and
Yep.
then by the time it was big enough for me to tell, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not pulling all these. I just gave up. I just let it grow wild that year. I'm like, yeah, no.
Did you get anything out of it though, even though it was crowded?
Some lettuce. I did get some lettuce, but that was about it.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was
So do
definitely a
are you
learning lesson.
yeah. Are you so have you gotten better at gardening over the years?
Oh, yes. I now know like what works for me, and because I do work full time still, so I definitely have to have some major systems in place in order for me to make it work, growing as much as I do. But I have some weed barriers down. I have an automatic watering system now. I grow certain things in raised beds, certain things in the ground, and so I have a system now.
Yeah, systems are really very, very, I could say very 100 times it wouldn't be enough, important to making a homestead run where you don't feel like you're putting out fires all the time.
Definitely.
Yep. And you said you have animals. So what do you have for animals and what animal did you get first?
So funny enough, we got cows first, which seems backwards in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there we already had a fenced pasture, and my husband had always wanted cows, raise our own beef, and we started with cows. And that also obviously was a learning experience. The first cow we had, his name was Houdini, given for a very good reason, because even though it was a fenced pasture, the fence needed some work. And so he got out constantly. So I don't know how many times we had to walk that guy home. Like he would end up at the neighbors, half a mile down the road in someone else's pasture. And it was like, oh my gosh, this animal is huge. I'm going to get ran over.
Uh-huh. Um,
Then I got chickens, and chickens obviously were a little bit easier to manage.
yeah, they say chickens are the gateway animal for homesteaders.
Yeah.
Cows is not the animal they say is the gateway animal.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'm gonna jump in. Our neighbors to our west, our northwest, they have cows and they have at least one donkey.
Oh,
And
fun.
we've lived here for a little over 5 years, and I keep waiting to get up in the morning and find a cow or a donkey in my yard, and they've never shown up. So they must have really good fences. And what's really dumb, Becky, is that I would not be terribly offended if I woke up to a cow or a donkey standing in my yard.
They
It would be
definitely have
okay
their
with me.
own personalities.
Yeah, as long as I could get hold of the owner and say, "You need to come get your critter because I can't do it," I would be fine with it because I think that we don't have livestock here. We have chickens, we have a dog, we have barn cats, and we have 3 acres. We don't have enough room for anybody to graze, and feeding livestock right now is real expensive if you're not grazing them.
Yeah.
So, the idea of waking up to a cow or a donkey in my yard would be highly entertaining once.
Yeah, let me just visit, okay? Like babysit them a couple hours, maybe once a week, and then take them back.
Yeah, their beautiful dog came over one day, and I think her name is Shy or Sky, and she's the red golden retriever. Like, she's not the
Oh.
yellowy golden, she's the reddish kind, and friendly as all get out. I was just like, "Oh my god, she can stay," and my husband was like, "We have a dog, she's going home." I said, "Oh, okay." So we've met their dog, and she's wonderful, but, have not met any of their other livestock yet, and I wait for the morning where I do. Um, do you have, like I don't wanna say there's a word. I hate this. Do you have average chickens or do you have special chickens? Let's put it that way. Do you have, like, a bunch of different kinds or you just have egg producers?
We honestly have a really big variety in our flock. I'm not really particular on certain breeds. I don't care if they're pretty.
Yeah,
We're dual purpose, so like I'll raise them and I incubate them, and then there tends to always be a ton of roosters when you incubate them, it seems like.
of course.
And so those will go to freezer camp generally. So then that way it's kind of a full circle and it's less I'm having to buy from the hatcheries like to fill my freezer.
Yes, absolutely, especially right now. I mean, you've been doing it for a while, but right now it's really important to have that.
Yes. Oh, I'm real
Yes.
excited. We just did, so we've had cows for a while and we do the chickens and we raised pigs and which I probably will never do again. They are so destructive. I mean, I love pigs, don't get me wrong. But we just picked up our butcher pigs yesterday and filled our freezers. So now I literally don't have to go to the store for any kind of meat.
How does that feel, Rebecca?
Fabulous. It's
Uh-huh.
fabulous. Like I said, they're really destructive and they got really big. And I mean, they were super docile, the breed that I got. We got a Mangalitsa red wattle cross.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, they were not mean like at all. I mean, there's a few times my legs got squished, but they didn't realize they were hurting me. You know, they just want food. But
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely tore up that section of the pasture and it's going to need a lot of work now.
Yeah, I keep hearing people either be very pro pig or very, I did it once, I'm not doing it again pig.
Yeah, I feel like if you have enough property or a lot of wooded area, they're really good at clearing land. But I just have a grassy pasture, so like that whole section is just all dirt now.
Yeah, yeah, and trying to get it back to where you want it to be is gonna take some time and probably some money.
Yep.
Yep. Do you have goats or lamb or
I
sheep?
do. I have goats, but I just have a dwarf variety because I'm not a large person and I wanted to be able to handle them. I did have goats, like regular, like full-size goats for like 3 months when we first got this property, and it just did not work out. Like we got them from someone else when they were already full grown, so they were skittish of people. They didn't want anything to do with me. And then when they did get out, it was so hard trying to get them back in.
Mhm.
And at least with a dwarf, like I can pick them up if I need to, I can actually handle them.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I would tell anybody looking to get any kind of livestock is really consider what you can handle,
Hmm.
because if you can't handle them, you will sell them or you will process them within months of getting them.
Yep. I've been doing pretty good with the ones we have now. And we have it like they have a nice little fenced in area now, so they're not getting out constantly. Even though they're dwarfs, they still got some hops on them. They can still jump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How many do you have?
Let's see, how many do I have now? Um, 6. And then I have 2 babies right now in my backyard. I'm just weaning off, and they're going to be going to new homes this weekend.
So much fun. Are you like an in love with baby goats person?
Yes, they're so cute, and it's hard to get rid of them, but you only get so much milk off them when they're dwarf sized, So it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to have like 20 goats, so I have to get rid of them.
While you're talking about that, I have a question because we're very, very lightly flirting with the idea of dwarf goats at some point in the next couple of years. And I read that they're good for meat and for milk. So how much milk can you get from a dwarf mama goat?
So it depends. So I have a dwarf Nigerian and a dwarf La Mancha, and I definitely get more milk off my La Mancha.
Mhm.
Um, but it's still like maybe a pint a day if I'm milking twice a day.
Okay.
It's still like it's not a whole lot compared to like, a dairy cow or a full size goat. But I mean, if it's just you and your husband, it would be enough, like it's really good in your morning coffee.
Oh, I know, and that's part of the reason we're even remotely thinking about this. Because when we moved here, we were like, "We are not getting goats. We're not getting goats because we don't have enough room for them to graze." And
Hmm.
then I saw that there were mini goats, pygmy goats, as it were,
Mm.
and I was like, "They wouldn't eat much. That might work, maybe." So I've been doing research on that, and I've been doing research on quail, and we have
Oh
not
yeah.
decided on anything yet because it's spring in Minnesota. My husband has been every weekend outside because he's been stuck in the house all winter. He's been chopping wood for this winter, and he's been planting seeds in the greenhouse, and he's been checking out the fruit trees and the lilac bushes and the rhubarb and the peonies, and I can't keep this man in the house from sunup to sundown. So he's been very, very busy, and we're probably not going to do any major changes this year, partly because we don't know what this year is going to bring with everything going on in the world. And we're like,
Yeah,
the gardens and the chickens are pretty stable. Let's just stick with that for 2026.
yeah,
Because I would hate to get into something new and then have to give it up because money just gets too tight because prices have gone up so much.
yeah. Well, and that's where I was kind of at. 'Cause I milked last year, and we'll probably start milking again here soon. But getting them up on the milk stand, like after they finally get used to sitting there, you typically give them like some kind of a treat or give them grain to like
Mhm.
eat on while you're milking. And the grain here at where I buy it is really expensive. So I'm like, I could probably just take this $30 and give it to another farmer that has a bunch of goats and just buy their milk instead.
That too, yes. And I'm always saying if you can't produce the thing that you want yourself, find somebody local who's already producing it and support them.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a good plan.
Yeah.
So what do you I'm just going to sound really dumb. What do you love most about homesteading?
Possibilities, I guess.
Mhm.
There's just so
Mhm.
much to it when you finally dip a toe in, and then you're like, oh, well, I could do this, but then I could do that, and I can collect my rainwater, and I can sew my own clothes, and I can I guess it just opens your mind up a little bit more to, we've been raised our whole life like, oh, do this, do that, get a job, go to college, have kids, and it's like they don't teach you how to be self-sufficient or to care for your family in the ways that you may want to versus just going to the store to buy dinner. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, well, I can do all these things. Like, what do I want to do? And so I
Y-
think that's my favorite part. It's the
Yeah,
possibilities.
absolutely. And you bring up a good point. We are brought up in the last, let's say, 50 years. We've been brought up to do what we're told instead of brought up
Hmm.
to be functioning humans who know how to cook a meal, who know how to start a fire outside if you need to for whatever you need it for. Um,
Hmm.
we were not brought up taught how to know how to do a stitch in clothing, how to hem pants, how to darn socks. We didn't need to do that anymore. But I don't think that's true. I think that we all need to know how to do this stuff.
Yes.
And I was actually thinking the other day, and I haven't said anything to my husband yet because he's got a lot going on his plate and he's also ADD. So if I bring it up, he's going to want to talk about it for 3 hours. And I'm like, I don't have 3 hours today. But I was thinking about the fact that we now have a little thing that we carry around in our pockets called a cell phone. Most everybody does, a smartphone that lets us take video and photos whenever we want. And I'm 56, so I remember having to take film to the pharmacy or the Kodak, whatever, and get pictures developed, actual pictures you hold on to, you
Hmm.
can hold in your hand. And it was expensive to get film developed. When you chose to take a picture, you were making a choice. And no, I mean, there hardly anybody I knew had a video camera when I was in my teens because they were brand new. Isn't that scary? I'm only
Yeah.
56, and I
Yep.
could I couldn't just pick up the phone and call somebody. I had to ask my mom if it was okay if I called my friend, and we had to keep the conversation to under 60 seconds because it was $1 a minute.
Ah, that's funny.
I can't freaking believe that I have been alive for 56 years, and what has changed since I was born and what changed from the time that my parents were born till now. It's
Yeah.
insane. And it's made it so easy. Everything has become so very convenient, but we have lost the soul of creation, human creation in all of this stuff.
Yep. You can pretty much get anything you want delivered to your door, whether it's
Mhm.
in days or hours. Like,
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I really do like cooking. I really do. And when I talk to people who are like, "I can't believe you make soup from scratch. You can get it in a can."
it doesn't taste the same though.
I'm like, "I don't want my soup to taste like aluminum. I want it to taste like soup." And they're
Yeah.
like, "It doesn't taste like aluminum." I'm like, yes, it does. And if you want soup that doesn't taste like aluminum, I will make you soup." I had
Yeah.
friends when we lived up at the old house. We moved half an hour away, so I still have friends up there, but, if my friends were sick, they would call me and say, "Do you happen to have any of your chicken soup in your freezer?" The stuff I make, chicken soup. And I would be like, "I do or I don't," and usually I did. And I would say, "Yes," and they'd be like, "Could I please have some? Because 'Cause I'm really not great. I've got a cold, I'm miserable, your soup is
Oh.
like medicine." And I would let them have a little container of soup. I couldn't give them all of it, obviously, I had a family of 6, but I was happy to share. And my next door neighbor, she was so funny, she had a really bad head cold, and about 3 days after she ate my soup, she came over and she was like, "I'm all better, it's all thanks to you." That made me feel so good inside, and I helped her, and it was no skin off my nose because the soup was already made.
Yeah.
So so not only do I feel like I'm accomplished, I feel like I'm helping other people, and I swear that's why people get into homesteading because 'cause they're trying to do something for themselves, and then their friends find out about it, and you end up helping your friends, and it's really fun.
Yeah. Well, and food really is fuel.
Oh,
It is
absolutely.
medicine, for our bodies. So I feel like it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm constantly talking about food on these episodes, and homesteading isn't just about food. It's about getting outside and touching grass and getting your hands dirty. It's about being responsible for other lives, even if it's just a barn cat. It doesn't matter. And it's about being part of nature because humans are nature. We are.
Hmm.
And people have forgotten that too.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just I don't want to beat a dead horse because it doesn't do any good. But
Feeds your soul.
yes, homesteading is not about having land. It's about the way you live your life. And
Hmm.
if you have made chocolate chip cookies from scratch, or if you have made, I don't know, bacon and eggs, you've practiced a homestead school skill.
Yeah. I've had a few people, you always, I don't know what you call them, trolls online. It
Mhm.
just, people just aren't nice sometimes. And then you get them behind a computer or a phone and then they just say really not nice things. But I've had a few people be like, I thought homesteading was working the land. What are you talking about? I'm like, well, yeah, originally it was about working the land, but it's not the same as it was back then.
No, it's not.
And if we can encourage, your average Joe that lives in an apartment to have a tomato plant in the corner of their house with a sunny window and to start baking from scratch, even though they don't have any land, why wouldn't you?
Mhm.
So,
Hang on one second. I was gonna cough, and I didn't wanna cough in your ear. Um,
no, I'm gonna call.
it's fine, it's an echo. It's an invisible echo. It was awesome. Um, the other thing is that I feel like people started looking down their noses at actual work a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, the trades are just dying for people to come to work for them. Plumbers, electricians, construction. And The fact is, if we don't have people go into those trades, we're not going to have houses to live in, or a toilet to flush, or water
Right?
to drink, or,
Like
or,
where
or, or.
where did everybody go? It's like there are so many people, but I feel like the workforce is like diminished. Like there's no one out there actually working. It's like everyone just stuck at home behind a computer screen.
I think what happened is that back 20, 25 years ago, when computers became quote unquote easier, and I'm not saying coding is easy. It is not. I've tried it. I don't like it. It's not my thing. My daughter learned and she's great at it. But when people learned that you could make a lot of money working in the computer field, they were like, oh, well, I can make more than being a plumber, so I'm going to go into computers. I
Mm,
think that's what happened. And don't get me wrong, you can make a lot of money if you're really good at in the computer field. But we still need people to, use a wrench or a hammer or
yeah.
take down trees that might land on your house. I mean, that's a really important thing too. So, I don't know, and I didn't expect to go down this trail this morning, but it's interesting. Um, I think that I think that to be a functioning human these days, it would be good if you knew how to cook a couple of meals from scratch. I mean, if you want to buy food from somebody else 5 nights a week, just make a meal on Sunday. Learn a
Hmm.
meal because it's so amazing when flour and butter and salt and milk turn into a biscuit.
Yeah. Like a
A
little science
nice
experiment.
Yeah, a nice fluffy biscuit that you can put store-bought jam on if you want and butter and eat it because at least you made the biscuit.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
yeah, go ahead.
the gratitude that you feel, or just the pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Being proud of yourself,
Yeah.
eating the food that you made. You're like, oh my gosh, I made this whole meal from scratch. Like it's so gratifying.
Oh yes, I have a drop biscuit recipe that I use all the time for just biscuits or for sausage and gravy and biscuits or for butter and jam biscuits, whatever. And we had gotten strawberries a couple years ago. We did not grow them. We bought them and we made strawberry jam out of those strawberries. And we did not have a cow. We will probably never have a cow. But I was so excited to have our strawberry jam on biscuits that I made with butter from the store because two of those things we made.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was super cool. I love it. Um, the other thing that I will tell you, and obviously I will tell the listener as well, is that when we lived in town, we lived in town. We lived in a town of 6,000 people, and we lived in the old part of town. Our neighbors were very, very close. And the main reason I wanted to move out to the country was for the quiet. And
Hmm.
and if you are a person who is shy and really likes quiet, living in town is not going to be your jam. It's just not.
Definitely not.
People ask me why I moved and why we moved to a homestead. I'm like, because I needed quiet. And they're like, not because you wanted animals or more space to garden. I'm like, oh, no, no, I wanted that too. But the main priority was quiet.
More nature, less people, please.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was so sick of having our bedroom fronted on the street that we lived on, and we had the windows open. All that smell from the cars going by and all
Oh.
the dust on the road would get kicked up, and my bedroom was always dusty.
Hmm.
And I was like, "This is so gross. I sweep this floor twice a day, and it's still dusty. Oh my god." And we don't have that problem here because 'cause we're back from the road. We still live off of a busy road, but we are way further back from it.
Yeah.
So, there are many, many reasons that people choose to move to a quote unquote homestead. And homestead can be a half an acre, it can be 100 acres. But typically it is not just a little tiny lot, city lot.
Yeah. I have seen some people do some amazing things with their backyards though. Like
Oh yeah.
their whole backyard will be like a garden oasis. Like it's amazing what people can do when they really put their mind to it.
That's exactly what we did at the old house. We lived on a tenth of an acre lot with a house and a 4-car garage on it. And we grew up. We put up trellises and we grew everything
Yeah,
up instead of out. And it was really beautiful. I mean, it was crowded and it was a lot, but it was beautiful.
I mean, you make it work.
Yeah, it was so fun. We had the kids then. We have 4 kids. And the youngest was born. He wasn't born in that house, but we were living in that house when he was born. And he knew no different than to have a little tiny piece of land covered in vegetable plants. And he and his older brother, came home from school when they were in, I think Kent was a freshman in high school and Cameron was in 4th or 5th grade. And they came home from school, and I guess they had talked to each other about this, and they were like, "We should talk to mom." And they said, "Can we talk to you?" And when your boys walk up to you and say, "Can we talk to you?" and they're very serious, you're like, "Oh God, what's wrong?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, what's going on?" And Cameron looked at Kent because Kent's the older one, and Kent said, "Can we start taking leftovers from dinner for lunch to school in a pail, a lunch pail?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because school lunch isn't food."
Oh, I mean, he's not wrong, but
Yep. And I looked at Cameron, who was in, 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever it was. And I said, "Do you wanna do the same thing?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Mom, the school lunches just suck." I was like, "Sure." So I just started making more of whatever it was we were gonna have for dinner so that they could take it for lunch the next day. And luckily, they both had, microwaves that they could use at school to
oh, very
warm it
cool.
up. Yeah, I was so impressed with these kids that they recognized that they were eating stuff that wasn't good for them.
Yep, you can definitely taste the difference.
Yes, but there is nothing scarier than your kids walking up to you and saying, "Can we talk to you for a minute?" I'm like, "What did I do now?" You know?
And then it was just that. I'm like, oh, well, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. And,
Easy, yes.
yeah, and they both really wanted soups. Like 3 days a week, they wanted to take soups for lunch. And I didn't have any little thermoses for them to take, so we literally went out and bought the little thermoses that are like a pint, you know,
Yeah.
like the Stanley thermoses, the small ones, and
Hmm.
and got the little lunch bags that are soft, and we would just they would just scoop the soup into the thermoses, put the lid on, and take it to school, and they'd warm and it was still warm when they ate, so they loved it. It was great. So that's another thing that happens is that you try things and then it surprises you at how well things work out.
Yeah.
So I haven't told that story before because I had forgotten about it. Thank you for giving me an opening.
Yeah.
All right. I try to keep these to half an hour, Becky. I appreciate your time so much. Where can people find you?
Um, Facebook. I'm on Facebook quite frequently. I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. So, but it's all of them are homesteading with Becky J. I have a blog, it's all connected, but I try to keep it all uniform so it was easy to locate me.
Fantastic. I so appreciate your time. As always, people can find me at,
Ooh,
at the
sorry.
doghouse. People can find me at a tinyhomesteadpodcast.com. Becky, thank you again. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you for having me.